Education to order. Ms. Santiago, please take attendance.
Richard Waring.
Here.
Jose Colon Rivas.
Here.
Beth Taylor. Craig Stalling.
Here.
Mayor Pedro Segura.
Here.
Shelley Beth.
Here.
Michael Brushman. Robert Porter Jr. Matthew Poland.
Thank you, Ms. Santiago. Opening statement. Good evening. As Chairman of the Hartford Board of Education, I hereby call to order the December 16, 2014 regular meeting of the Board. I wish to extend a warm welcome to everyone present and to our television viewers. The Board, the Superintendent, and I are pleased that you have joined us as we celebrate achievement, review information, and make policy decisions related to the effective operation of the Hartford Public Schools. This is a regular meeting, and all items that will be discussed or voted upon this evening have been posted as required by state law. As the Hartford Board of Education, we are here to set goals, listen to the reports of the superintendent, approve budgets, contracts, and personnel appointments, and make policy for the district. We are not here to make management decisions or solve the problems of individuals. Management is the responsibility of the superintendent. The monthly meetings of the board are open to the public. They are the time when the public conducts its business of governing the school system in a public arena. The regular meetings are not meetings with the public. Therefore, comments from the audience will be confined to the time designated for the public to address the board. Decorum and courtesy are important elements in effective public meetings. Please silence your cell phones or communication devices and refrain from talking while others are speaking. Since it is legally mandated that proceedings should be accurately recorded, I may have to ask for order periodically should noise begin to interfere with our recording capabilities. I am pleased that you have taken the time this evening to join us. We are very proud of the school system and thank you for your interest in the Hartford Public Schools. With that, we move to public comment. 3 minutes per speaker. Please keep it to that. At 2 minutes, you'll hear a bell. Ms. Santiago will ring the bell. At 2 minutes, start wrapping up your comments. You'll hear a second bell at 3 minutes. Please conclude at the 3-minute mark. We have a lot of speakers tonight, actually, and I want to get through everybody. So please hold to the 3 minutes. Janet Tate.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm a parent of Betances STEM Magnet School. My son is a current 5th grader, and we're here. There's a contingency of us here that would like to bring your attention to some of the deficits that we're facing in our current school facility. In 2013, there was a last-minute decision made to move our school into its current facility to house our then 4th and 5th graders. In the summer of 2014, we had some improvements with the expected 6th grade addition, and we now have a 4-story building with no elevators. We have space that's designated on the 4th floor for the gymnasium and the auditorium, and we have a single playscape and very little green area for our children. The fall of 2014, we began construction on an elevator system that has reduced our parking facility to half of what we had. We've lost our designated parent drop-off and pickup, and the construction will continue through the remainder of the school year, and eventually we will lose a bridge walkway that connects the internal system of our 2 buildings together. So for teachers and students to go from one side of the building to the other, they have to go up and down the stairs. There's a significant safety and health concern for our school facility. We do not have adequate bathroom facilities on all 4 floors of the building. There's inadequate access to and from the building. There's no ramps or handicap access. There is currently no designated drop-off or pickup for students, which is a safety hazard for our kids. We have kids that are exiting in between the school buses, and if you see this, you cringe every morning. We do not have adequate parking facility for parents and visitors. As I said, the parking lot has been reduced to half its size. It has also deteriorated significantly since it was repaired in 2013. Our cafeteria currently is substandard. We can barely hold 35 students while seated for lunch or breakfast, and our current enrollment is 250. We have exposed plumbing and heating vents in our ceilings. We have deteriorating floors. We have inadequate climate control for year-round use. At this point, at this time, we do not know what the long-term plans are for our school, and this is the issue that we are currently facing. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Hyacinth Yenny.
Good evening, Superintendent, board members. I'm Hyacinth Yenny. I first want to wish you all a happy and a healthy holiday season. Hope you'll take some time and relax and smell the fresh air. And, you know, please do that. You need to do that. Again, thank you all again for serving at the school board. As I'm here always about our children in our school system. A couple things. This school, if she's talking about the white school and Wethersfield Avenue, that should have never been a school. It was condemned, okay? So I'm not sure how they got in there, but that's the school that should have been condemned. I'm here because I look at this beautiful structure here, and I just wonder when are we gonna see the renovation? Not later, but now. Superintendent, I'm asking you, please, push this process forward as fast as you can. This is a building that we cannot wait on any longer. Let's put the rebuilding of any magnet school and get this one moving. This is important for this neighborhood, okay, and for these parents that live in this neighborhood. It needs to be done as soon as possible. And I will go to the council to talk to them about it because it needs to be done. They deserve, this neighborhood deserve a nice renovated building. We can't turn everything in magnet school. Let's get it done, please. The other thing, also, Superintendent, I want to commend you on addressing the Steve Perry issue. That needed to be addressed, but I suppose no one wanted to address it. So I'm glad you were able to come in and address that because somebody needs to take control of that school in general. The other thing I want to talk quickly about is the fact that I keep coming to talk about Hartford Public Library. I've talked to the principals about addressing the fact that we don't have a printer in that library. Our computers doesn't work, and all I can hear is we do not have the budget. Well, if you don't have the budget, I say come to the superintendent and talk about how we can address that issue. Our children need that library after school so they can do stuff in there. Okay, during the school, they go inside too and do work. So I'm asking you, Superintendent, please address that issue. Our children deserve printers and computer that works in the library. Please, I'm asking you to do that for us. Thank you. And the other quick thing I wanted to also talk about is how do we get our children, maybe from 3 to 5, into school at an early age? And is there a way that we could work with the governor to provide a program for these kids so they can get ready for the next level? Because we can beat our head against the wall, and the fact is that we are getting these kids into high school and they are not ready for high school. And it's mind-boggling to see what we're doing. Let's not talk about we're graduating kids and we are not graduating them to go much of places. So we need to make sure we are graduating them for the future of this community and this city. All right? I'm asking you to do that. And we need to hold parents accountable. It is important. Let's not push everything onto teachers. It's a partnership between parent and teachers. So let's work and push that. So important. Parents got to step to the plate to get their kids ready for school. Thank you.
Thank you. Donald Hill.
Good afternoon, Superintendent, board members. My wife and I, I'm a parent of a student at Betances STEM as well. My wife and I have 2 children right now who are currently in the Connecticut education system, elementary school. And throughout the years, we've been heavily involved in their education. We saw the benefits of it in our lives, and so we've continued to make sure that we're a strong presence in their lives as well. So we've done a lot of research on schools throughout Connecticut. And I'll be honest with you, right? I'm thoroughly impressed with the staff at Betances STEM. But the other side of this is, it doesn't come across on the first impression, and that's primarily because of the facilities. To be perfectly honest, I looked at the facilities and I told my wife this is not something that's going to happen for our children. But we went the extra step, we met the staff, and we were thoroughly impressed. And I'm so impressed to the point where I cannot wait for my daughter to actually attend that school. But there are some significant shortfalls that could potentially impact the future of this school, and I'm very concerned. I mean, I'm specifically talking about these STEM-related shortfalls. So right now, the classrooms, when I look around, they lack some of the basic technology, which in my opinion, you would need to compete with some of the neighboring schools. As I said, we've done a lot of research to other schools, so we've seen this, and we see the shortfall of Betances STEM. To give you some examples, right now there are 2 computer labs and 2 science labs for the entire school. So when you do the simple math, we're talking about 125 students that share a single computer lab, another 125 that share a single science lab. So the school really needs a couple additional computer labs, again, a couple additional science labs. And the importance here is that these are the type of things that stimulate hands-on learning, which foster that learning, the learning creativity in that learning environment. Now again, I won't pretend to understand the ins and outs of the workings of the board, how you allocate funds. I myself am an engineer, so I do understand the importance of the young people that come into my company, the young people I work with, and the educational tools and resources that are available to them in their upbringing. And I think these are things that I would urge the board to invest in the children at this school in particular. It's really an outstanding school, and I think that we really do need to invest more time, more resources into the school, and I'm certainly willing to participate and help out, and I would like to see the board also help the school.
Thank you, Mr. Hill. Forgive me if I'm mispronouncing the name. Agni Mina? Do I have that right, or?
That's fine. It's Ani Mena.
Oh, okay.
And I'm actually going to start speaking off the podium. I'm also from Betances STEM Magnet School. And this actually shows you some photographs of our facility. Now, we are extremely concerned about the facility and the competitiveness of our school. Now, you heard from Janet Tate, who spoke about some of our safety and health concerns, and you heard from Donald Hill, who spoke about our academics. Yes, we are doing very well. We have wonderful teachers. However, we are in a building, we are actually at 85 Weathersfield Avenue, which is the old Dwight School. It was built in 1883. It had an addition back in 1910. And to be honest, we have a boiler. I got to visit the boiler room that looks like it was built in 1910. It is a waste of money. That's what it comes down to. Last summer, the 3rd and 4th floors were renovated. And I say renovated, really quote unquote renovated. It was a paint job. So as you can see from some of the pictures, we have exposed pipes. We have things that are dangerous to our children. There's a piece of wood, maybe 15 feet up high, that could fall at any point, and it could fall on a child's head. I don't think you really want to be responsible for that. Okay, just getting back to our concerns. We actually sent you a letter back on February 8th. I believe that was the email we received, a confirmation that you did receive this letter. We asked you and invited you to our facility so that you could see things for yourselves. And to this day, no one has shown up. Actually, Superintendent, thank you for coming. But she was not here back in February. Mayor Segarra's office actually said that they would like to have open discussions with us. To this day, nothing has been set up. We then again sent numerous emails asking, again inviting all the board members and asking for open discussions regarding our facility. We cannot compete with the other STEM facilities. If the board or the Hartford schools decides that they want to open up magnet schools, perhaps you should look at your infrastructure before you actually have kids from 29 different towns signed up for a school that might end up closing because we will not get future enrollment if we continue to be in a building that is not adequate for the STEM curriculum. I think that's pretty much says it. Thank you.
Thank you. Jane Russell.
Muy buenas noches. No sé si va a haber intérprete.
Ms. Russell has asked for there to be an interpreter.
Muy buenas noches a todos. Mi nombre es Jane Russell. Tengo 3 hijos en la escuela pública de Hartford, específicamente en Berkeley High School.
Good evening. My name is Jane Russell. I am a mother of 3 boys, specifically at Buckley High School.
Yo realmente no iba a hablar en el día de hoy,
I was not prepared to speak today,
pero me animé a hablar porque mi hijo me trajo las notas, uno de ellos.
I decided to speak because my son, one of my children, came home today with a report card.
Soy una mamá bien envuelta en la escuela, voy a las giras, he estado en el PTO, he estado en el School Governors.
I am an extremely involved parent. I am in the PTO, I am in the SGC, I go on the field trips with the school children.
Y me trajo esa nota, ¿verdad? Y me dijo usted porque me vi 2 F.
And I received my son's report card today and I was very shocked because there were 2 Fs.
Y me pregunto por qué los maestros no tuvieron la dignidad de llamarme y decirme cómo estaba mi hijo.
And I asked myself, why didn't the teachers communicate with me? I am in the school all the time. Why didn't the teachers reach out to me and let me know how my son was doing?
No esperar al final del semestre, entonces ver yo esas notas cuando estoy ahí todo el tiempo.
Not have to wait until the end of the semester and be shocked to see my son's report card when I am in school almost every day.
Porque si yo no envío a mi hijo a la escuela, yo soy una negligente. Pero la maestra no es una negligente. ¿Ah? La asociación de maestros no son negligentes cuando no le están enseñando nada a los estudiantes.
If I don't send my son to school, I am a neglectful parent. But when the teachers do not communicate with me, do not let me know anything, who do I hold accountable?
So, yo me maravillo cuando oigo a otros padres que otras escuelas magnet tienen toda la tecnología y las escuelas de comunidad no la tienen. No hay calidad, no la tienen, no tienen todo el equipo que se necesita para ellos estar preparados para el futuro.
And I also want to make a point of how I am shocked to hear other parents talk about magnet schools where they have all of the technology and all of the things that the children need to learn. In our community, our neighborhood schools do not have that.
Tenemos los salones sobrepoblados, tenemos que estar todo el año recibiendo estudiantes, mientras la magnet school se detiene el proceso de aceptar estudiantes. No creo que sea justo. No creo que sea justo.
It is not fair that in our neighborhood schools, We have overcrowded classrooms, overcrowded schools, because in the magnet schools, the enrollment process stops at a certain date, but all of the other children that come into the few neighborhood schools that are left.
Yo no creo que sea justo tampoco para los estudiantes ni para los maestros que están sobrepoblados esos salones, así no se aprende. ¿Ah? Abran esas escuelas magnet school también todo el año, tienen la capacidad. No sigan mandando todos estos nenas a las escuelas de comunidad, no creo que sea justo para mis hijos y para los demás estudiantes que están ahí todo el año, recibiendo estudiantes de todas partes del mundo.
It is not fair for my children, for the teachers, and for other students that they must receive students from all over the world all through the year. Open up the spaces that you have at the magnet schools, because the neighborhood schools are overloaded, overpopulated with students that are coming in every day. It is not fair for my children or for other children for them to learn.
So, tomen eso en consideración. Le deberían de dar un voucher a los padres para que tengamos las mismas opciones de ir a otras escuelas. Si las escuelas de comunidad no tienen lo que necesitamos para ayudar a nuestros hijos al futuro, pues denos un voucher para que tengamos la misma calidad, cantidad de estudiantes que tienen las magnet school, ¿verdad? Porque yo misma me cansé de aplicar a las magnet school porque nunca caía, eso me quedé en las comunidades, en las escuelas de comunidad.
I am asking that you consider a voucher system, because I myself have gotten tired of applying for magnet schools because my children never made any of the lotteries. Therefore, they are in the overcrowded neighborhood schools. So if they cannot be educated at a neighborhood school because of the overcrowding and overpopulation, then give me a voucher so that I can choose and select a good school where my children can attend.
Y las maestras se cansan, no quieren repetir. Le dicen a los estudiantes, lo digo una sola vez las cosas, una sola vez. Y yo no creo que sea justo. En mi tiempo, cuando yo no entendía algo, la maestra lo seguía repitiendo hasta que yo lo entendiera. Yo no creo que sea justo que estos estudiantes, la maestra no pueda dedicarle un tiempo, una sola vez. No, se requiere más de una vez para uno aprender cualquier materia.
When the classes or the schools are overpopulated, teachers do get tired from the many students that they have. They can only say one time the things because they have so many students in their classroom, versus the magnets where they have the low classroom, so the teachers have more dedication, are able to dedicate more time to the other students.
So, yo veo que no tienen ya la compasión, no tienen la dedicación, se molestan, se cansan. Estoy hablando de la escuela de high school, de comunidad, se cansan. Y mis hijos se frustran.
Since my children are frustrated, the teachers are tired in the neighborhood schools because it is just too many kids, too many students.
So, no es justo que yo tenga que ver dos jefes cuando yo soy una mamá bien envuelta, bien envuelta. No creo que sea justo que ninguno de ellos me hayan llamado, no creo que sea justo. Me molesta todo esto, me molesta.
I am very upset that my son came home with 2 Fs. I'm very upset that I was not notified. I'm very upset that I was not given the option to help my child prior to this time of the year.
Pues, muchas gracias.
Thank you very much.
Good, thank you. Petra Malero?
How are you doing this evening?
Evening.
My name is Petra Molero. I have 4 children, which are under middle school, and 2 attend the same school, and the 3 go to different schools. They go to community school, neighborhood schools. I recently went through an experience with a particular school where my daughter wasn't attending school. Days were going by. I was having a hard time. The family, the other kids were in the family, and my children were getting affected due to her behavior. I tried to reach the school over and over and over, and I wasn't getting a resource. And they had the resource, but nobody was listening to me. I attended one day of Harvard Parent University. There I learned that I can advocate for myself and my children. I finally gave up and I said, I'm gonna go take care of this. And with the support of a member from the Harvard Parent University, I did it. I went to school. Now, We couldn't figure out what it was. Finally, one of the things was that my child was eating cold lunch for her behavior of defending herself for boys making negative comments that she didn't like, so she would talk back. So she had 3 times she ate cold lunch. Now, when I found this out, I couldn't believe it. I saw the parents, they said, yes, my child also said that. They thought it was okay to do that, but it's not. Now, after that, the school started retaliating at me because I spoke because I advocate for my child. Now, it shouldn't be like that. You know, if you have the resources, use them. Don't hold the parent just accountable for that, you know, whatever it is. Find out what it is. If you have a system, use it so that way we could work together as a team, because I am 100% dedicated to the education of my children. It's been a pattern since I've been a child to just leave it to the mom, leave it to the dad, or leave it to the student. But years go by, they grow out to be adults, and they stuck to the community, not doing positive because they didn't have that support. So we're going to teach the kids, let's teach them right. If not, I would say, hey, give us this voucher. Let us choose the school for our children to go so they can learn, so they can become, you know, positive people in the future, so they can give back positive in our community, because I believe cold lunch, it is not positive. Teach them something good. Teach them something that they can say, okay, you know, this is what it should have been done, not cold lunch. That is not healthy. So I'm very disappointed in that part. I heard it has stopped, so I'm very glad that I advocated for my child. I was heard. But it took so much energy. It took for my kids, the other children, to be affected in their attendance, in being late, for me to be heard, for me to stand for myself and for my kids and say enough is enough. Because education should be even for everybody. Otherwise, we're going to have a mess, and we're never going to be able to have a community of positive people, because it starts from little to when you become an adult. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm going to apologize in advance because I can't read the last name. LaShawn.
Hello, I'm LaShawn Robinson. I'm here today. I have children in charter schools, and my children have been suspended 10 times, both children in the 2nd grade. I'm here because I want scholarships to be available to everybody's children. The charter school cannot support my children's needs. My son, one, is a kinesthetic learner. There's nothing there for him to do, so they constantly suspend him. Currently, he's going to another school for 46 days. My daughter is struggling, and there's no kind of supports. I need my children to be in a school that fits them. I'm not going back to a neighborhood school. My kids came from a neighborhood school. They couldn't even read when they left the neighborhood school. I refuse to send my kids back to a neighborhood school. How could people have kids going to failing schools? 40,000 kids in Connecticut in failing schools. We're failing our kids. Like, this is ridiculous. I'm requesting today that you guys look at the possibility of having scholarships for our children, vouchers, where they could go to any school that fits their needs. Thank you.
Thank you. Lenima, again, I can't read the last name, I apologize. Okay, I'm sorry, I couldn't tell you. I'm not doing well tonight.
Today. Board members, hi, my name is Tanya Mccauley. I'm here today asking, begging, and pleading y'all please to go on with the equity scholarship for the kids. I'm hearing of 2 children at Milner School. I'm a very advocate parent. You know, I believe every children is the children of the future, whatever, but it's just some things I just can't do on my own. I can advocate, sources, so I get blown in the face, but you know, when it all go down, you need that final signature for everything to go through. I have a very bright son in Milner School, but Milner is just not for my baby. But at the end of the day, what could I do? If I'm doing lotteries after lotteries after lotteries, I have to hope and pray and pray and pray that he gets accepted. Okay, when he don't get accepted, what other choice do I have? So I have to put him in a feathering school when his standards just a little higher than where he's at. So at the end of the day, other complications happen. He's become a product of his environment. That's not fair to my baby, and it's not fair to me as a proud mother to send my child to a school like this. When I feel this in other towns and other Washington, D.C., there's other things. It's scholarships out there for kids that at the end of the day that don't get picked for lotteries, but they still get an opportunity to be in a school that fit their needs, their specialties. Every child is not the same. Every child is different. Some children in life really want to go somewhere and be somewhere, and some children in life really have family, friends, church members, or sources, anything to support them. So I'm feeling if there's opportunities out there, there's things I hear that's out there that qualify for my son, why doesn't I have a chance to get that? Why do my son have to be in a school that substitute teachers is not even qualified on the standards as a teacher? For teachers to voice out that my child is not socially deficient, who on God's earth give you the right to categorize my child as that? Who are you? And for me to leave my child out of his home sweet home to a caretaker that does not value the same as I value my child, what type of mother am I to drop my child off to school? But yet and still, there's supposed to be a child I'm supposed to grow to be someone in life? How? I'm not a teacher. I'm sending him off to a teacher. So I ask that some type of way, some type of how, do that final signature for an equity scholarship for my child. Thank you.
Millie Arceniegas.
Good evening, Superintendent Navarez and honorable board members. My name is Millie Arceniegas. I am a parent of 2 children. One is about to graduate college from CCSU, and my little one is still in the Hartford Public School System, and he's about to graduate next year. So this will be my final year as a parent in the Hartford Public School System. But I wanted to take some time today to talk about a few things. Number one, there's smart boards at Clark Elementary that I asked to follow through on these smart boards for autistic children. Everybody at Clark got a smart board, and the 2 autistic classrooms did not get a smart board. And still today, they still don't have a smart board. And they use this technology with autistic children because they're, I forget they're visual learners, right? So they need this technology. So if I can get some response to that would be great. And then the other thing is too, you know, Hartford Parent University has a partnership with Hartford Public Schools to help parents navigate the school system and to teach them their rights. But that all goes away when they get to the school. If they get to the school and they start advocating property, and they're not getting, they're getting false information, okay? Or they're hiding things. That's not good. That's not gonna strengthen our relationship. So we need truthfulness in the schools. We need principals to say, you know what? I really messed up on this one, but you know what? This is what I'm gonna do, and this is how we're gonna get your child up to par of all the days that she missed, because I messed up and I apologized. There's nothing like that when you go to the school. There's a lot of retaliation against parents, and that is simply unacceptable. We don't pay our tax dollars to have teachers, to have staff, to have principals retaliate against parents. These are our dollars. And frankly, if you have teachers that think that our children are can come up here and say that they're socially deficient, well, you need to go somewhere else. Because you came to this district knowing that you were coming to a district that was disadvantaged. And to hear teachers say that up here is a slap in the face. You don't do that. You don't talk about our children like that. That's not where my tax dollars go, and that's not where any of our parents want their tax dollars to go. And this equity scholarship, it's time for that. We've given this district so many years to get it right. We got to give parents options to go elsewhere. We have a monopoly right now. We need to have independent schools, private schools, charter schools, whatever the great schools are. Let the parents for once decide where their children want to go. Give them an equity scholarship. That's what we're going to be taking on this year in the legislative process, and that's what we strive. We're hoping that you'll work with us on that, because there's nowhere else to go. There's nowhere else. Thank you.
Thank you. Sue Fernandez. Second call, Sue Fernandez. Okay. Sue Fernandez.
Good evening, Superintendent Narez and the Board of Education. My name is Delicia Arnold Williams, and this is Sue Fernandez. We are parents at Capital Prep. I have 3 students, and she has 1 student. And we have, as everyone knows, there's been some motion going on at Capital Prep. And like Miss Millie said, the first time I ever heard about an SGC was through the parent university thing. Now, I've been an active parent since my children attended Capital Prep on the PTO board. I've never heard of the SGC. So when I started attending the district PTO meetings, they're like, oh, no, you have an active SGC. And I'm like, no, we don't. I'm there every day. There's no possible way. So my point is to the board, if you really take parent involvement seriously, you have one person, I believe she's a half-time, Ms. Harris. She has over 50 schools that she has to coordinate with the SGC. I really advise you to put her on full-time or add an additional person, not to police the school, but to make sure that you're not getting false notes that there is an active SGC at the school. And a lot of parents really have had a difficult time navigating through the school, and however, we are excited. We got an email on December 8th that changes are coming up. But then 2 days later, there's another email stating some type of agreement. And there we go again. If you really value parent involvement, what does this sister school agreement mean? As parents, we have no idea. We just want the end of this period to be over with. We don't need any extra relationships after, people move on, and we just want to continue we want the SGC to develop. We want to assist the board and the new principal search. So we would like a letter from the superintendent to the parents, just basically, what is this agreement and why do we need this agreement? Will it benefit the students at Capital Prep, or will it benefit an outside entity? And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Levy Cardulis.
Mr. Mayor, Dr. Navarez, Board of Ed, in the end, we will not remember the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends. That's Dr. Martin Luther King. And this school in which we're at today. Dr. Navarez, you came to Buckley. I'm the head custodian at Buckley, for those who don't know. But Dr. Navarez, you came to my school and I gave you the original decision of the chef ruling. This school hasn't been touched. There's mold in the ceiling tiles right now, right outside this auditorium. For the majority of individuals of color in my generation, Dr. King is our hero. A man who gave his life for the desegregation of many different things, not just education. And this school didn't get any money. We did not touch this building. I'm so utterly disgusted that we have not put any money into the Dr. Martin Luther King School. It goes beyond words. It goes beyond words. Actions speak louder than all. And we haven't done anything here. These babies are coming. You see it's deteriorating, the side post over here. It's just crumbling away. It's dark in the top. We got to do something way better than what we're doing. And I'm at the point, I've been coming to these meetings before any one of you was sitting up here and saying the same thing almost over and over and over and over again, and nothing has happened yet. I'm a stakeholder here in the city of Hartford. My children go to these schools in Hartford. I am a Hartford guy, and this is what we get for Dr. King? I'm disgusted. Also, I'm probably gonna need 6 minutes.
That's what next month.
I know, but okay. Also, kudos, Dr. Navarez, for getting Steve Perry in check. Because this guy has just been running amok, doing whatever he's been wanting to do. The Board of Education has allowed him to go all over the country. This is one of my principles. I expect my principals as a stakeholder to educate my children, not run around the country promoting himself or whatever, and who cares? And how does, I'm the head custodian, so I'm not that smart, but I don't understand how a principal is gonna go and incorporate one of my school's names. Open up schools in other districts. How in the world did anyone allow this to go down? And as the former president of the Local 566, we protested in front of Steve's school. So Steve knows exactly how I feel about that. Okay, the real reason why I came to talk was—
You're at 3 minutes.
the inadequate trainings.
No, seriously.
It's the inadequate trainings, Richard, you and I have talked about plenty of times that the custodians currently don't have. We have schools with 2 and 3 guys in it. Guys are not trained properly. We had a bomb threat at Buckley. I don't know what the bomb is. I don't know how to find one. Richard, I'm frustrated.
I know
I'm
you're frustrated.
And we got to get some things done.
Thank you. Jeanette, and I can't read the last name, I'm sorry. Tell me.
Hicks.
Hicks? Okay.
Hi, everyone. My name is Shana Hicks. I'm from the Martin Luther King School. I'm a parent there. Currently, I have 2 kids coming, but I had 4 kids all together coming to this school. And ever since I came to the school, because I am a mother of 5 kids, I always was skeptical about where I have my kids going. Because every time I go somewhere, it's up, here she come with these 5 kids. And this school was so warming and loving, and they made me feel at home. I throw birthday parties for the teachers here, and they have the village here. They have a lot of support here for the parents, for the teachers, and we appreciate everyone as a family. And just looking around, it doesn't meet up with how the teachers treat our kids. If you come into your home, you want your home to be nice. And because this is like a second home to me, I feel like it needs to be done over. No one wants to come in a place where it's shutting down. And, you know, because we love the teachers here and because we love the way the teachers teach our children, you know, we keep letting them come here. And two of my kids, you know, they're active, they have ADHD, and I was embarrassed about that. And they work with my kids so well. And this is not a magnet school, but it's up to magnet criteria, because the way they teach our kids is not just by the book. They have special things that they do to work with our kids. So why would I want this school to fail? And then the thing about Dr. Martin Luther King, we live on his dream. We support him 100%. And I'm in the neighborhood, and I would hate to see this school go down when this is like my second home and they welcome me and my kids with open hearts. So that's what I want to say. Keep our school open. Keep my second home open. Thank you.
Thank you. Karen Clark.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Karen Clark. I'm a parent of two. My daughter, Nicole Brown, she's a past student from MLK. I'm an active parent, and if I wasn't, then my daughter would not have graduated and went to University of Science and Engineering. I have a 10-year-old who still attends MLK. I have been a volunteer over 10 years, and it's been the same fight, even though we have had good news that we're still on the list for renovation. Still not sure if the date is set, if there'll be changes, because we were told when West Middle came in, their school would be done at a certain date. Then I'm hearing that it's been pushed back some more. So I need to know if we're still scheduled for the same date. We haven't had anything in writing. I love writing because I've been on the PTO board for a while, been on the SGC, and every superintendent comes in, make promises, and doesn't keep it. And I've always asked for evidence, because I believe if it's in writing, then we have a stronger point. I still haven't heard of anything in writing, still haven't seen anything in writing. So the board telling me that we are scheduled for 2016, it doesn't faze me, because it's not in writing. Superintendents have come and gone. MLK is still here. My child doesn't need a magnet school to learn. She hasn't come home with any Fs. I've never had a problem with MLK's learning. I've never had a problem with the teachers. My kids are not problem kids, and even if they were, MLK would know how to deal with it. I have seen them in action. And I just want you all to know I'm still waiting for my renovation in writing. Thank you. Have a great night.
Thank you, ma'am. Isolina Day.
My name is Isolina Day. I'm a great-grandparent of kids from Milliner. I have had grandkids go through all different Harvard schools. I am a Harvard parent, grandmother, and everything. I'm here about the scholarship scholarship for the kids, for all kids, not only mine, not only for Milner, for all the schools. And we parents and our kids need an opportunity, you know, because we have goals. And we do have some kids that want different things out of life. Sometimes it seems like it's not that way, but we do have some kids that want. And if they have this opportunity to be able to have their goals met and done, you know, it would be better for them. Why should they have to sit back and be in a failing school? So many kids in Hartford is just failing for nonsense, just for nonsense. And we can have these things here in Hartford if we had the opportunities. We need more than just one way in the door and no way out the door. We need a whole lot of things in Hartford, a whole lot of things. And I know there's a lot of parents and grandparents feel the same way I do. Because like over there in Milner, there's a lot of things. We're doing good, we're changing, but there's still a lot of things that we need. And we got to have these opportunities because nobody wants to come to nothing. And if you got nothing, you won't have nothing. You know, you walk in the door, you see nothing. There's nothing there for you. So how do you feel? You feel bad. You don't feel like you belong to anybody. And our special ed kids, they need a lot of help too. Because there's a lot of the parents that the special ed is going backwards and not forwards. They're not helping our special ed kids. They're not doing nothing for our special ed kids. They're telling our special ed kids, just pushing the mother and the parent away. No, they're people just like we are people. And we are all people. And we need the help. So we need the scholarships. Give us more than one way to go besides magnet schools and shipping our kids here, shipping our kids. If we have the vouchers, we can ship our kids where we want to ship it. Where it's going to help our kids, not where you want to ship my kids. And that's what I have to say. I hope that will help.
Thank you. J.D. Matthew.
Good evening. I am Baby Matthew. My son Benjamin is a 5th grader at Betances STEM Magnet School. How many of you had 30 or 40% of your classmates, your friends, leaving you in a year when you were students? Did it happen to your kids? What do you think of a school where it is happening? I think it is a failed school. This is what is happening to Benjamin's school. For reasons beyond the control of the teachers or the students, 30 to 40% of the students leave the school midway for other schools. The school does not have a building or campus where you would like to send your kids. We cannot have a meeting like this in Betances STEM Magnet School. Probably many of you would not like to come and see that school. It is probably better to close the eyes and assume that the problem does not exist. This is a big image problem and also real problem for healthy education and personal development. Student safety and health are also impacted. This prevents potential students from joining the school, potential teachers applying to the school, thus sets the cycle of a failed school. Do you need one more failed school in Hartford? Why did you plan for, may not be you, but someone else, the people before you, why did they plan for a magnet school that is going to fail? I thought magnet schools are a solution to the education problem in Hartford. Even if you agree today for setting up a new campus for Betances STEM Magnet School, my son, Benjamin, would not be able to study there as it would not be ready before he finishes middle school. But please do it for the students or that would be joining the school in future. Please do it for the people of Hartford. If you believe Hartford needs this magnet school that has STEM curriculum and some good teachers and good students, and if you want to prevent it from becoming a failed school, please make this decision. Please make a decision to start the school construction in 2015. The teachers of schools have some hope left, and the school has some more flexibility and acceptance towards students than any other school that I know. Build on these important values and make it a great school. You can do it if you start the construction in 2015. We would like to know the plan for the 7th graders and 8th graders where they will be sitting in the coming years because we don't have the facilities in this building. It will be great if we can have that plan and the building plan before next Board of Education meeting. Thank you. Sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Matthew. Arlene Pereira.
Hi, my name is Arlene. I'm here with my family, my daughter. My daughter actually goes to MD Fox, and I'm here I want some answers because I've been talking to Ms. Jackson, the principal of the school, and the pull-out program, if it's being changed in all the Hartford Public Schools or it's just on MD Fox, and why us, the parents, weren't notified of this change at the middle of the year. There's also a lot of things going on in that school, report cards being incomplete, basically, there's nobody there to take the fall for it. And the answer I got from the principal was that the kids were being over-serviced. I never heard this before. If the kids is being over-serviced, it's for them, it's better for them, for their future. And that was the answer I got. And I'm not pleased with it. That's why we are here. And my daughter basically expressed to us that she's been having trouble since all this change came through. Now the teacher is supposed to go to the classroom and try to teach a bilingual student. Whatever the first teacher is trying to go through with the rest of the class, my daughter's getting confused, frustrated, because the teacher doesn't have the same amount of time for each student. She can't explain the same way she used to them. And now my daughter's having problems with her homework. She's having problems studying, reading. The English she has right now is because she learned it with those teachers and that program they were being used. And right now, she doesn't even want to attend to the school. That's the point of view. And right now, I requested a meeting with Ms. Jackson, and I haven't heard nothing from her. And I've been trying to call and see if this program's been taken off all the schools, and I have found nothing. So I would like some answers for that. And that'll be all for us. Thank you.
Thank you. Juan Benz.
His name is Juan Banks. I'm here to translate for him.
Okay.
He's also here. His son's name, ¿cómo se llama tu nene?
Junior Banks.
His son's name is Junior Vance, and he also attends to MD Fox Middle School, and he's here for the same problem because of the bilingual pullout. He just recently got here from Santo Domingo, and his son doesn't know a bit of English. And he's also concerned, he also hasn't got any type of answers from the principal And the answer he got from the principal was just because of you parents, this is not gonna change. Also, his son is missing grades on his report cards when he came to get. He has almost 10 absence, which he goes to school every day, and he doesn't know where those absences are coming from. He talked to the vice principal, Ms. Lehau, and she said that basically it was her fault, that it was being a new program, setting up grades and all that, and all the teachers weren't properly trained for that.
Quiero poner que el 80% son latinos en la microfast. Entonces, necesitan el programa bilingüe para poderse preparar para un futuro.
He's saying basically that 80% of the school of MD Fox is Latin students, and they need that program for them to go on in the future.
Estoy preocupado porque yo no quiero que me baje la nota.
He's concerned because he don't want his kid to lower his grades.
Eso es todo.
And that'll be all for today.
Thank you. Ronnie Gignard.
Good afternoon. This is my son, Ron Gignard Jr. I'm here advocating for him, and she's here to help me too. My son was transferred out of Noah Webster, a legal transaction, transfer by his mother, and he's missing days over there at the school. Now, he used to go to West Middle. You know, I'm for regular schools too. And then I'm also for the magnet schools because it also helps parts that regular kids need. So I enrolled him into the magnet schools, and he got us at the Trinity School, private school, and Noah Webster. So he chose Noah Webster. But at the same time, I still come back and help out with West Middle, and you know, he had to come back here, come to the school for a couple of days, but I'm trying to figure out why he's not back in the school that he's supposed to be in. And at the same time, I came to really speak on the behalf of Martin Luther King. Is a good school too. You know, even though my son goes to that magic school, I want him back in there, and I'm still willing to volunteer and help out the kids that don't get the education and the support and the help and the funding that these regular schools need, besides all that money going to the magnet schools. And that's the truth. I live over towards Woodland and Farmington Avenue. Just because I live over that way, I will still come back this way and still help out the kids that don't get that help that they need. And I really believe that y'all should really continue to push money towards regular schools too. But I'm here also because my son needs to hurry up and get back into the magnet school that he was in and get the help that he was getting. I really am. So I'm here on behalf of my son and all the other kids that don't get the help that I pushed to get him by getting him picked in the magnet school. So I would like for y'all to really push and hurry up and see what is the sooner date that he could get back into the school that he was in, because he was legally taken out of that school because his mother just put him out and they let him. But I would really appreciate if y'all look about helping these schools right here in Hartford besides the magnet schools. I was for these schools regularly before I had to put my son in magnet school. I'm only putting him in there because of y'all not giving extra funding to the regular schools. That's the only reason I put him in that school. And I feel if I don't speak up now, I feel that y'all gonna keep on taking these regular schools out and just putting all the kids in magnet school and just blow them up and just put them in, bust them over, put them in classes and just piling them up. Knowing that some of these teachers, they still need extra help themselves too. It's only a certain amount of teachers in regular schools. The magnet schools, they have a whole bunch of teachers. They have 10 teachers sitting on the desk helping one kid at a time. So I really appreciate your time, but I really would like for y'all to hurry up and decide when my son could go back to New Webster, please. And also, please help with the funding for the regular schools, because they need it. They really do. And I'm only one parent, and I've been with him since 6 years and a half. And I'm a living fact, because I've been here 35 years of my life. And I didn't finish high school. But I know what's right and what's wrong.
Thank you, Mr. Junior.
Yes. So I would really appreciate when you can let me know when my son will be able to go back to New Webster. Because he's missing out on his education. Thank you.
Thank you. Shelley Davis.
Good evening, Mayor Segarra, Superintendent Narvaez, and members of the Board of Education. On September 17, 2013, I addressed the board after approving the spending of nearly $750,000. One board member was honest and stated he did not know about the ABA program, but did vote for the approval. Today I speak of the same Applied Behavior Analyst program, better known as ABA. Creative Intervention and its employees are the consultants. On August 14, 2013, the Office of Talent Management, Special Education Department, and the Hartford Federation of Paraprofessionals Executive Committee met about the issues in the ABA classrooms. The special ed director stated several times that the program was wonderful in West Hartford and adamant about how well it worked. We continue to tell the story of the paraeducators who work in the Hartford Public ABA program. Paraeducators and students have been injured, and all paras are not been trained, even though ABA is a specialized program. When paraeducators try to inform and speak about concerns they have for the children, they have been yelled at, threatened, and this demeanor is demonstrated, and not only in front of their colleagues, but the students as well. Since August 14th, yes, 1 year, 4 months, there are still no answers, no resolve, just conversation. This is unacceptable. Our children, as the superintendent has made it very clear in her vision, all our students deserve the best education in the city of Hartford. We, the paras, agree, and we show up to do our part. I speak to you today not to blame, but inform, not to condemn, but to ask for accountability. I ask of you, the board of members of the City of Hartford, to make the health and safety of our students and paraeducators in the ABA program your top priority. Clark Street, Wish School, Rawson, Batchelder should be first priorities. I'm asking for you to hold the forum with the paraeducators who are trying to serve our children without any clear direction or change in direction, and in most cases, no support at all. Please listen and hear them, and after listening and hearing them, address and resolve the issues. We can then move forward and make good better and make better the best. I believe this Board of Education will do just that. We appreciate and trust that the year 2015 will prove to be most productive. And I thank you all for your time and happy holidays. Just one comment though. We had a meeting, just like Millie had asked you about Clark Street School, and this was back in August about the smart boards. I'm really disappointed that the ABA program has not gotten them to this date. Thank you.
Thank you. Andrea Johnson.
Good evening, Board. Superintendent Andrea Johnson, President of the Hartford Federation of Teachers. As stated in the Hartford Current editorial on Friday, December 12, 2014, Harvard school leaders made the right call in keeping control of Capital Prep School. After Mr. Perry offered to pay the city of Hartford $1 to continue to be in charge of the Capital Prep when he departed Hartford. As of Friday, December 12th, Superintendent declined Perry's offer and wished him well with his new endeavor as a charter school management company director. Also, the chairman of the Board of Education stated that there was no board support for Perry's plan. The superintendent's call was one of precision and decisiveness. This showed her leadership ability to allow the close and to close a chapter within Hartford's public schools that had an extremely disruptive and in many cases disrespectful person in charge of a school. The superintendent gave the promise of a new beginning for Capital Prep. Then came a new day, Monday, December 15th, 2014, and the superintendent changed her story from new beginnings to the return of old ways. In a letter to the school board, Superintendent Narvaez told the world that she had worked out an informal, non-binding pact with Perry that would allow Capital Prep and his new charter school to share among the staff guidance of best practices and opportunities for students' collaboration on projects and visits. So now we have a sister school, for lack of what else to call the new informal, non-binding pact. We also have Mr. Perry with his hand in the cookie jar, still part of the Hartford Public Schools. Besides the fact that the formal and non-binding agreement between the superintendent and the Board of Ed that had no interest in such a model, there is no documentation that spells out exactly who, what, where, and how this new agreement would work. The taxpayers of the city of Hartford deserve better. Those taxpayers are also members of the Hartford Federation of Teachers that pay the taxes at 85 Buckingham Street from their dues. The same taxpayers who have been disrespected, harassed, and insulted by Perry. This sudden change of heart by the superintendent to allow Mr. Perry to be part of the Hartford Public Schools on a non-binding and informal basis is not only seen as unfounded, but also as an insult to every educator in Hartford. For too long we have had to hear Mr. Perry's nonsensical rhetoric about Hartford educators. Superintendent, I hope you rethink the new agenda you have created for Mr. Perry and think of the much larger scale, that being the good of the educators of the city of Hartford who work so hard for their students every day. You would be giving your first and foremost allegiance to those educators who chose to stay in Hartford and make the difference they do every day. Thank you.
Thank you, Amy. Janet Falconer Crawford.
Good evening. My name is Janet Falconer Crawford. I can proudly tell you that I'm a product of the Hartford Public Schools. I can also proudly say that I have been a teacher here at Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Elementary School for the last 34 years. It saddens me as I walk through the doors of 25 Ridgefield Street. Why? I remember the days when King School was a village for over 1,000 students in grades K through 6. It was the largest elementary school in the state of Connecticut. Other teachers were in awe of the excitement and learning taking place here. We had a waiting list, not for students, but for staff. King School has graduates that are professors, doctors, and NFL players. Over the years, I have slowly witnessed the deterioration of this beautiful, historic building. Over the years, I've had many opportunities to transfer out, but I chose to stay. Why? If King School couldn't have a state-of-the-art facility, it at least deserved to have a staff that was dedicated, caring, and invested in its family members. I say family members because that is what King is. If you ask my husband or my 3 daughters, they too will tell you, this is my second home and family. I have letters of promises, promises, and promises. Promises of renovations, promises made by several superintendents, but just unfulfilled promises. Oh yeah, these promises had dates, but dates that haven't been fulfilled. We have grown wary and untrusting. Please let King's dreams of having a state-of-the-art facility no longer be deferred, but rather realized. No more promises, just a promise to fulfill the first promise. We ask, does the projected timeline in regards to King School's renovation still stand? Is the plan for our temporary relocation still Fox Middle Achievement First? What happens once our home is completely renovated? Will we occupy our home again, including any staff members who may have had to leave because of a possible decline in family members due to relocating? Please let our village have the same opportunities so many others already have. Great public schools, a basic right and our responsibility. So let's make it right. Thank you.
Thank you. Aswad Thomas.
Thank you. I am a longtime Hartford resident. I'm a graduate of Weaver High School, Hartford. I'm a product of Hartford in our school system. Currently, I'm a graduate student at the UConn School of Social Work, pursuing a master's degree in social work and studying community organization. I do a lot of work here in the community of Hartford because I care about our youth. And we all are aware of the issues surrounding our country at this moment regarding the non-indictments in Ferguson and New York and throughout the country. And our youth have a voice. So I would like to know, what is the school district doing to talk to our youth about these issues in the classroom? Are our faculty members, our teachers talking to these students about these issues? Because the students are not talking about it at home. There are not many venues to talk about it in the community, and the school plays a huge responsibility to talk about these issues to our students. So I don't know if we need more training for teachers or faculty members, or just create more dialogue space in the classrooms on these issues that are education issues as well. I'm here today. I had a rally in Hartford last week that was attended by 450 people here in Hartford. As we walked through the streets of Hartford, there was a lot of encouragement and empowerment and inspiration from city residents, the youth, and the community members and regions from all over the state. I'm here today. I'm putting on another march on Saturday. We're going to be marching to the state capitol building to address these issues, but I believe our youth need to be present. So I would like the school district to send out an email communication to all students, inviting them to come to this rally. It's very peaceful, very powerful, and very inspiring for the youth to see students such as myself, community members, community leaders, and also college professors that have knowledge on these issues that can give them a bright hope and encouragement. I have flyers here today to pass out to each one of you, but before I leave here today, I'm aware of a local school, high school, that recently did a study asking young males in the school what are some of the issues that they would like to talk about in school, or what are some of the issues they need help with. And the number one answer from young male students was they would like to talk about, how do I be a man after high school? To me, that's deep and that's powerful, and we need to address those issues for our youth. Thank you.
Thank you. Tracy Carter.
Good evening, Ms. Agar, Ms. Avias, Superintendent Avias, and the members of the board. I'm a Hartford resident, and I went to Hartford Public High School before they had 3 academies. I came here in reference to about the Hartford Public Library, and that is our resources for our children. So we don't have, in Hartford Public High School, the books are spare. The printer haven't worked for 2.5 years. The computers, I think there may be 10 that works. And most of the time, sometimes they have PowerPoint presentation workshops and the library is closed. So it's not open, it's not available. I'm also concerned about the class sizes. That's way oversized, 32 in a class. I think that is just phenomenal. That just floors me. How do you have a teacher that teach all level of students, ELL, really, all levels, all grades, and don't have material or the resources? And my basic concern is special needs students who are getting lost. They really are. The modification is not happening, and the case managers are supposed to be case managing. It's not happening. What is happening is this. They go to each class and they teach classes. So when I want to discuss something with the case manager, she puts on her finger and says, oh, I have a class. So I have to talk with the case managers for the special ed students that they were hired to help with in the hallway and the materials they do not have. So I really think we need to look at this, because these are our children, this is our future. And do you want that for your children? So I just think that we need to look at this, get the resources, let's get together, let's write grants, whatever we need to do as a community and as a parent. My son graduated with the Annie Fisher. He's now on University of Baltimore. His teacher is here today, and they had the resources. Wasn't oversized. You can't, nothing from nothing leaves nothing. So I really would like for y'all to think this through and think, do you want this for your children? Is it acceptable? And y'all have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you. Sharon Douglas.
Good evening, Mayor, Madam Superintendent, and board members. I am a paraeducator here at Rawson Elementary School. My concerns here tonight is in reference to the ABA rooms, children with autism. As a paraeducator, there is 7 students in my classroom with a teacher and 2 paras. We're in compliance by law. Children don't have their one-to-one, or so they say. That doesn't exist anymore. But when you have children that are raging, tearing up a classroom, scratching up a teacher, right now, my hands are scarred. My hand can prove what I've been through. I feel like I've been through battle every day, stepping into the classroom, because there's not enough paraeducators in there that are trained in CPR, restraint, the ABA language. I brought this to Mr. Mark Spaulding, our special educator director of my building. It falls on deaf ear. It's sad to know that the ABA paras that are being hired don't know they're ABA paras. 2 different job descriptions. Nobody yet can tell me what my job description is. Yet I have the training, lack of training, to help my students. When I walk in Rawson Elementary in the morning, I'm there for the students. But if there's not enough staff to help these children with autism, how far can we go? Furthermore, I would like to talk about the smart boards. ABA rooms are not set up like a regular classroom. They're set up for the needs of children with autism. their learning differential cannot be met due to either being safe, placing them in a safe area because another student is tearing up a room, or lack of staff, one staff per 4 children. The math doesn't add up. Moving along, I'm working with a teacher that has only 3 years experience. This is her 3rd year. Yet, when we call out for help to the director, Mark Spaulding, of special education for my building, no response. As for training, if you're hiring me, why are you not training me? That falls on deaf ears too. As for the smart board, the children do not or have not received the utensils, the stuff they need, so we can help them through their day. So therefore, somebody has dropped the ball. I'm here to let you know I would like to do my job to the best of my ability, but equip me and let me know what my job title is. Thank you.
Thank you. Michael Downs.
Evening, board members. Evening, Mr. Chairman, Superintendent, Mayor. The first thing I wanted to discuss is the idea or if the board had thought about inquiring with the city, discussing with the city, the idea of combining the group of people who are covered under health insurance with the Board of Education with the group of people who are covered with health insurance that work for the city of Hartford, because it came to my attention that the larger the insurance pool, the less the cost of insurance. Secondly, with the city of Hartford increasingly spending less money on recreation, I was wondering if the Board of Education thought about inquiring into the idea that maybe there is funding, federal funding or state funding for recreation and study, because we have all these gyms in at least 36 or 38 or 40 schools that could be open for recreation and recreation and study after school for 2 hours or more or less. And I'm just wondering if there was any funding around. I think there is. And they should be looking into it because the city's spending much less money now on recreation. And maybe the board could, maybe there are funds that the city gets and funds that the board also could get. And third, we're still waiting for the shovels here at Martin Luther King and at Weaver High School. Fourth, the Dwight Building. I've been a substitute teacher for 35 years now, and the Dwight Building has always been under code and has not been up to code. And I remember the days when they would heat the lunches and half the building, the lights in half the building would go up. And I don't know if it's much better today. And fifthly, our neighborhood schools come first. And there is a lack of evaluation, or a need for more evaluation for special needs and bilingual. I know the mayor is, or the superintendent has determined that this is a need in the neighborhood schools, and there's an urgency here, so we really have to get going on it. And the neighborhood schools come first, the magnet schools come second. We give away buildings to the charter schools that have plenty of money and can afford their own building. And we should have saved these schools for our neighborhood schools first and our magnet schools second. And I'd like to conclude that the magnet school at the Dwight Building should be at one of the other buildings that are up to code. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Paul Holzer.
It's a good thing your agenda is short tonight. Honorable Mayor, Superintendent, board members, student reps, I'm Paul Diego Holzer, Executive Director of Achieve Hartford. I just want to say before I begin, commend the Family and Community Engagement Committee for meeting and for taking on some really big issues. I think that's great. I think you can tell by a night like tonight that there are a lot of people in the community that have a voice and want it to be heard, and so the more that y'all can meet, kind of the better it's going to be for reform in Hartford, I think. Like many others tonight, I too have come to talk about school choice, but in particular SCHEF. In the coming weeks, the state and the plaintiffs for SCHEF will continue meeting and conclude negotiations and hopefully launch phase 4 of an agreement. Let me tell you why this is important right now from our perspective. In our conversations with a number of Hartford residents, it's clear that many residents have come to see the magnet choice lotteries as perhaps a bad thing, creating inequity in student opportunities to the point where we have a tale of two cities. This perception is the opposite of what SCHEF versus O'Neill, the case aimed to achieve years ago, and it has come about despite there being clear evidence of SCHEF being very successful. The time has come, we think, to rethink certain SCHEF approaches and to identify and implement changes in policies that would allow more Hartford parents to be positively touched by SCHEF. Doing so would cement a much more positive perception among Harvard parents, many of whom have not been able to get their kids into magnet schools or who have just not applied out of resentment of there needing to be a lottery at all. Among parents we've spoken with, SCHEF currently has a reputation of really caring only about those who get in and not much about everyone else who does not. I guess this is what happens when you have so many parents who can see a great school down the street, right from their porch, but can't get in. SCHEF can do more about this, but it will take some listening, some learning, some revising current SCHEF stipulations on behalf of more Hartford children. Towards that end, Achieve Hartford is releasing tomorrow 8 targeted recommendations for how to improve SCHEF. They include suggestions such as devising a system that allows for greater than 50% of Hartford residents to attend a magnet school, especially in those schools where they're not able to fill the 50% of suburban kids. Establishing a target goal that mandates that magnet schools achieve a percentage of special ed and ELL students in their schools that mirrors the district average. And funding marketing efforts that encourage more middle-class suburban parents to think about Hartford schools, right? If this is really a two-way street, for integration works both ways, then it would make sense that you would see that kind of investment in promoting Hartford schools as well. There's much more to talk about other than that. I hope all of you on stage and everyone here tonight will pick up a copy of the document I left on the pile to my right and also encourage others to read it starting tomorrow morning. You can find the doc on our website, on Facebook, and obviously we'd love to hear your thoughts. So thank you very much. Have a good night.
Thank you, Mr. Holzer. That concludes public comment. Section 5, reports, report of the chair. Chair has only one thing to report. This Saturday, Capital Prep, Achievement First, won the first state title in football that this city has seen in 15 years, which is a great accomplishment. In spite of all the obstacles, and it really is a great thing, and these young men deserve a lot of credit. They've been building up that program the last few years, and they came up short the last couple of years in the playoffs, but they stayed at it and they didn't quit. And this year they brought it home. They did this, and it's really important, I think, for our kids to have these opportunities, not just for all the reasons why we think sports are great, because they teach teamwork, but too many of our kids are told that they're losers, they'll never win anything, they'll never accomplish anything, and they did. They're state champions, so congratulations to them. Including Mr. Stallings' son, right? Yeah. So that's the chair's report. Dr. Narvaez.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair, and good evening, everyone. As usual, let's begin by recognizing the good work that our students and staff are doing across our system. I feel it's important to elevate the great things that are happening throughout our school communities. So first, our student and school shout outs for this meeting. The Maria Colon Sanchez School. I'm honored to announce that one of our schools, the Sanchez School, was recently awarded a special recognition from the U.S. Department of Agriculture for its participation in the Healthier U.S. School Challenge, a USDA program that encourages schools to make changes to their school environment that promote good nutrition and physical activity and education. The USDA also cited Principal Azar Redzik, Cafeteria Supervisor Eileen Rivera, and the entire nutritional staff for their efforts in achieving high-quality menus, as well as physical education teachers Tim Kane and Kim Nyquist for promoting exercise, physical activity, and wellness. I would like to thank the Sanchez community and our Director of Food Services, Vislani Burt, and her staff for taking a leadership role in helping our students to make healthier eating and physical activity choices that will last a lifetime. And I have a plaque to present to Principal. I was wondering if the pom-poms would be here tonight. I would like to ask the principal and the assistant principal, Anderson, who also did a lot of work in this area, to come forward just to accept the plaque of recognition. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Congratulations, Assistant Principal.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, we have a second school shout out for the Pathways Academy of Technology and Design. Holiday presents arrived early last week for a group of our students at Pathways Academy as they unpacked a free shipment of high-end ThinkPad laptop computers and Android model yoga tablets and demonstrated a new curriculum for developing mobile applications. The curriculum was designed by Lenovo, a multi-technology manufacturing firm and the world's second largest distributor of personal computers, in collaboration with the National Academy Foundation and the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. The goal of the curriculum is to encourage greater student interest in science, technology, engineering, and math, and it includes lessons in business management, entrepreneurship, product development, and marketing. This is definitely the type of real-world experience that we want to cultivate and expand in all of our schools because it offers students a direct correlation between their studies and the world of work. We have some staff shout-outs as well tonight. On December 4th, our Executive Director of College and Career Readiness, Sonia Denal, joined President Obama, First Lady Michelle Obama, and Vice President Joseph Biden, along with hundreds of college presidents and higher education leaders, to announce new actions to help more students prepare for and graduate from college. We are honored to be recognized for our work to increase our students' readiness for college and to make a recommitment to even increase and strengthen our efforts so that more of our students succeed in post-secondary experiences and in their career choices. So Ms. Denal, I think I see her in the audience. Would you please stand and be recognized? I want to thank you for proudly representing us at the Presidential Summit on College Opportunity and for leading the work through strategic partnerships with community-based organizations and higher education partners, and by utilizing research-based strategies to ensure college access program providers and school-based staff work collaboratively to increase college enrollment and completion. Thank you for all your work. We have a School Security Officer of the Year, and I am proud to join with our Chief of Operations and Director of Security to announce that our School Security Officer of the Year is Mr. Victor Rodriguez. Mr. And Let me tell you a little bit about Mr. Rodriguez as he's coming up to be recognized. Mr. Rodriguez has been in the system for 13 years, a full-timer for about 11 years. He's served at the Mary Hooker School for 10 years and also has experience with our Hartford High School, Weaver, Betances, Buckley, Clark, and Sanchez communities. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about Mr. Rodriguez here. Director of Security, Joseph Sikora, states that Victor Rodriguez has been an extremely hard worker and a role model for students and staff alike. He has immersed himself into his school community and makes it a point to get to know as many students as he can. He helps out with school technology and has been an important contributor to the development and implementation of the school emergency response plan. He has coached and mentored youth at Hooker School since he has been there. Victor does his job with a quiet confidence and tries to stay out of the spotlight. I try to stay out of the spotlight too, but it isn't working so well for me. When you do your job as effectively as he does and participate in many of the activities at the school, you can't help but notice the good he does at Mary Hooker. We are all extremely proud to have him on our team, and he is certainly deserving of this award. It's not over yet. I have some words from the principal. Peter Dart, the principal of Environmental Sciences School at Mary Hooker, recognizes Victor Rodriguez as a truly dedicated school safety officer who works hard to keep our students and staff and visitors safe. He is a team player who has immersed himself in the school community and is a coach, role model, and mentor, in addition to his duties as a school safety officer. I see a theme here. His efforts every day and his genuine concern for the safety and security of all make him truly deserving of this award. He builds positive relationships with teachers, staff, and students, and members of our community. In addition, when needed, he understands best practices in safety within the context of a school and is able to respond quickly and efficiently. Our discipline data clearly is a result of his work. For the past 2 years, we have had at least 90% of our students with 0 or 1 office referrals for the entire year. Officer Rodriguez participates in our Safe School Climate PBIS team and is able to use his knowledge and expertise to positively affect programs that help students stay safe. Congratulations, Officer Rodriguez. Please come forward and let us recognize you. Wow, you are outstanding. Congratulations. Thank you. And I just want to show you the, I can't let him take it with him because we're going to put this on display in our security office, but we recognize our school safety officers with a plaque, and we have Mr. Rodriguez's picture here, along with his name and the year, recognizing him as the school safety officer of the year. Again, congratulations. Yeah, thank you for your work. All right, I'm not done yet. One more. Let's congratulate our very own Marta Bentham, Director of the Welcome Center and our Ombudsman, for joining the Wadsworth Museum's Board of Trustees. Ms. Bentham has been on the museum's education committee since May of 2012, and representatives from the museum state that it has been a great privilege to collaborate with her over the years. She has done a tremendous amount to help the museum connect with the families of Hartford, to encourage participation in the free Second Saturdays for Families program. The program has seen some real success, in large part due to Marta's leadership in raising awareness and ensuring that families have means and modes of transportation to participate. Second Saturdays are well attended and bring visitors who are the most diverse in terms of racial and ethnic backgrounds, age, and education level compared to any other museum program. Second Saturdays also promote longer-term desired impact. Families have developed a strong sense of belonging at the museum. In 2013, a total of 95% or more of the visitors surveyed reported they felt welcome at the museum, felt comfortable and inspired to return, and enjoyed their visits overall. There was also an increase in positive impact in adult participants' interest in art, strengthened relationships with children, and developing children's interest in art. Most significantly, a total of 78% of 2012 respondents compared to 91% of 2013 respondents agreed that the program had helped strengthen their relationships with their children. Ms. Bentham, are you still here in the audience? If you could stand to be recognized. Okay. So we just would like to congratulate her on her appointment to the Wadsworth Board of Trustees. For helping them to take advantage of this incredible resource that we have in the city, but also I'd like to thank her for her continuous dedication to our families and for the work that she and her staff does to ensure that we serve our students and families well. Just briefly, two other updates. The transition work following the appointment of new leaders and existing leaders to new positions took effect last Wednesday, December 3rd. I am pleased to share that our new cabinet structure is in place and that central office leaders are undergoing plans and activities to ensure a smooth transition to these new roles and responsibilities so we can quickly organize ourselves in ways that better support schools and the rest of our system. As I mentioned before, this transformation of central office is coupled with preparations for a strategic planning process, the next phase of our work. I look forward to even more engagement as we enter this phase, where we prioritize and create robust plans to tackle the challenges that we face while leveraging the resources and strengths that we have. As we gear up toward that process, we continue to take action by attending to some of the urgent needs, and I call them our big rocks, that we face, such as reducing chronic absenteeism and suspensions, and improving our performance in meeting special education requirements. Also by increasing our focus on teaching and learning by clearly defining the work of instructional leadership. And lastly, at our November meeting, I announced plans to form the Superintendent's Teacher and Principal Advisory Councils. As I shared, these two groups will be made of educators from across our system that will help me maintain a direct pulse on the health of our school communities through their on-the-ground perspectives and ideas. I believe this practice to be essential, and it is part of my commitment to remain available and to hear directly from our colleagues in schools and in classrooms who have direct impact on the lives of students. We're currently working with our associate superintendents, the portfolio teams, with principals and others to seek nominations, and the advisory councils will begin their work in January 2015 and will strive to represent a diversity of perspectives. And just one final note, as part of my ongoing engagement work this morning, I completed my visit to our 49 Hartford public schools. So I promised I would get it done by the end of December, and I've kept that commitment, and I'm looking forward to starting the next round of visits in January. So thank you for listening, and that concludes the superintendent's report this evening.
Thank you, Dr. Narvaez. Committee reports. I've talked to the committee chairman. There are no reports. Moving on, item 6, business agenda. A, items in order of importance, contract approval. The Connecticut Business and Industry Association Education Foundation / Lighthouse School Initiative Management Fee, $158,958, Superintendent et al. This contract will allow the Connecticut Business and Industry Association Education Foundation to provide management services to Rawson School to support development of its newly implemented STEAM business and industry model. This includes but is not limited to hiring and supervising a project manager, project administrator, and developing business and industry partners to learn with the Rawson School, to team with the Rawson School community in its implementation of the STEAM business and industry model. The recommended action is that the Hartford Board of Education authorize the superintendent to execute a contract with the Connecticut Business and Industry Association Education Foundation for the term delineated in the contract documents ending June 30, 2015 at a cost not to exceed $158,958. Is there a motion? It's been moved. Is there a second? It's been moved and seconded. Dr. Narvaez.
Yes, thank you. You'll note that you have another item pertaining to the Lighthouse School Initiative under the consent agenda, which is the acceptance of funds. We are very pleased to announce that we received final approval from the Commissioner from the State Board of Education this week. And so these items kind of go hand in hand, so I want to frame out the bigger vision and remind you of the work that we have started with the Lighthouse School Initiative. As you know, this is unprecedented in that it's the first time Chef dollars have gone to support a neighborhood school. So I just want to zoom out for a moment and tell you again about the vision of this work, and then tell you a little bit about our great partnership with CBIA, and that's the item before you, their support and partnership of this particular project, our Lighthouse Initiative. So the vision of the Lighthouse approach is that school improvement will drive community development and community-based integration through the commitment and collaboration of an array of organizations and partnership work with families and communities focused on collective impact. The Lighthouse at Rawson School project provides students in the Blue Hills neighborhood an exciting opportunity to experience innovation in real-world settings through the science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics, the STEAM, business and industry design. Through participation in this highly rigorous course of study, every student will thrive academically, socially, and creatively. As the theme develops, students will have unique opportunities to develop the understandings of the relationships among the arts and the more traditional content areas of science, technology, engineering, and math, resulting in innovation in a number of areas. The Rawson Lighthouse Planning Group identified a variety of factors that points to the need for improved student performance in math and science. And so many of the project goals are intended to support some of the needs that they identified through this process. And we're excited that students will be engaged in STEAM-themed project-based learning, inquiry, and other learnings that will open Rawson students to new possibilities. This approach will support students in exploring creative solutions to solve problems, encourage them to try, to experiment, to fail, to reflect, and to learn from experiences. It will promote bridging the gap between business and educational goals to create a more productive and sustainable outcome for our students. Additionally, teachers will undergo rigorous professional learning regarding the new STEAM curriculum, with emphasis on project-based and inquiry-based learning. Our content partners include the Connecticut Science Center, the Connecticut Pre-Engineering Program, and the Blue Hill Civic Association, who will work collaboratively with our school faculty and project management to integrate in-school and after-school activities that build upon the new curriculum and approach to learning. The business and arts community will also be engaged to participate by incorporating specific theme-related activities where students will have the opportunity to apply classroom learning to real problems. I know the commissioner noted in his acceptance letter that he was truly impressed with all of the community involvement in this project. One of the anchors of the Lighthouse Project is the close partnership with the Connecticut Business and Industry Association Education Foundation. And I have to say that CBIA is a great partner to us, not only through this significant project at Rawson School, but also I saw firsthand their incredible support at the Academy of Engineering and Green Technology. They have built a most robust advisory board at that school that supports the principal, the staff, the students. You've heard us refer to before the incredible Nepal project that students there have designed, and a lot of that work, I really want to thank our partners at CBIA for pulling that advisory board together, because it's those partners that are connecting with kids and providing the opportunities for these really unique and strong project-based activities for our kids. And so again, CBIA has stepped forward to provide great partnership for this project that's very important to us, and I think a game changer. The partnership will support the development of this model, and the CBIA Education Foundation will assist the Rawson School team in identifying and cultivating business and industry partnerships, as they've done in our other school, to support many aspects of the project implementation. CBIA has already and will continue to provide administrative support, project management support, coordination, and assistance on site at Rawson School. The project of this magnitude really needs detailed project management support. They have been instrumental in supporting all aspects of project implementation, including but not limited to theme work with staff, family and community outreach, facilitation of partnership development and growth, facilitation of after-school programming and internships related to the theme, facilitating and recording weekly meetings of the Lighthouse management team, and coordinating project-related marketing. Additionally, CBIA has also played a role in collecting and analyzing data so that we can continue to assess the effectiveness of this project as we build it out over time. And so what's before you is we're asking you to approve the contract with CBIA to help us to continue to help us with the project management and helping us to build out all of the other partnerships that are so essential to the success of the Rawson Lighthouse School Initiative.
Are there any questions? No questions. Hearing none, the chair calls the question. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye? Aye. Are there any against? Motion carries. Thank you. Nay? I'm sorry, Robert. Nay. Motion carries.
If I may, Mr. Chair, I just would like to recognize Judy Resnick and Sherry Cousins. Judy Resnick is the Executive Director of the CBIA Education Foundation, and Sherry Cousins is the Project Manager of the
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Consent agenda. The chair will move to take items 2 and 3 up as a single item. Is there a second in my motion? Second. It's been moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Against? None. We'll take them up as a single item. Are there any questions on the consent agenda? Any debate on the consent agenda? Hearing none, the chair calls the question. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any against? Motion carries. C, executive session, collective bargaining agreement, buildings and grounds supervisors, local 818, council 4, AFL-CIO AFSCME. Is there a motion to go into executive session? So moved. It's been moved. Is there a second? Second. It's been moved and seconded. All in favor of going into executive session signify by saying aye. Aye. Any against? We're going to go into executive session. Dr. Narvez.
At Hartford Public Schools, we care about one thing above all, the future of our kids. That's why we're dedicated to providing all students with the knowledge and skills needed in the new global culture. Hartford Public Schools is thriving. More student success stories, more world-class facilities, more university and corporate partnerships, more amazing talent coming and staying in Hartford. This is how education is supposed to work. Welcome to Hartford Public Schools, where the future is present.
A motion come out of executive session? It's been moved. Is there a second? Second. It's been moved and seconded. All in favor coming out of executive session signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? We're out of executive session. Item 4, approval of the proposed collective building and ground supervisors. The recommended action is that the Hartford Board of Education approves the proposed collective bargaining agreement with the Buildings and Grounds Supervisors, Local 818 of Council 4, AFL-CIO AFSCME. The membership of the bargaining unit ratified this tentative agreement on November 20th, 2014. Is there a motion to adopt this contract? So it's been moved and seconded. Any debate on the contract? Hearing none, the chair calls the question. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Are there any against? Motion carries. Chair would entertain a motion to adjourn at this time. So moved. It's been moved and seconded. The chair, it's non-debatable. All in favor signify by saying aye. 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 Any against? Adjourned.
Thank you.
At Hartford Public Schools, we care about one thing above all, the future of our kids. That's why we're dedicated to providing all students with the knowledge and skills needed in the new global culture. Hartford Public Schools is thriving. More student success stories, more world-class facilities, more university and corporate partnerships, more amazing talent coming and staying in Hartford. This is how education is supposed to work. Welcome to Hartford Public Schools, where the future is present.